Here's an update to my last video. I know I've told y'all that I was hoping this year would be a lot less of the unknowns as I went through, but they're just different unknowns. And so since Desmos was gifted to us, which is a great thing, there was kind of a learning curve on how to handle some of this stuff. And one of the reasons I showed you two different ways on the video, let's just quick recap here. This was the question we were working on. And there you go. And so when we did our regression and everything, we got this. I tried to put in this x equals 6.1 at the beginning, which I have now because I redid it at the end. But when I click on that, oh, now it's giving me that. Now it's doing there we go. But we'll see, it gave me two different things. So all I could get the first time I did this was the 3.7. And so I showed you what to do with this, because if I try to use this equation as I see it right here, sorry, I'm trying to tap so you can see where I'm tapping, but right here, it is rounded, and that is bad. So even if I export that equation, no, that's not what I wanted. If I export the equation like this, and I make that f of x right here, then that's not going to help me because it's going to use this rounded, and that's bad. And so I showed you how to come up here and hit these three dots and export it to get this, and then we rewrote it so we could get our actual equation and evaluate. And all that works just fine, okay? So then we have this x equals 6.1 I showed you at the end, or we could have just zoomed in really far, which I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't be able to zoom in real far on what you need. And then we click that, that's the data, that's the number that we need as well. But again, it's kind of hard to, I mean, they give me plenty of decimal places, but I can't really get that stored number. So here's another option that, after some thought about this, when I'm here, so let's say we just had the regression, I didn't export this, I'm just going to take all this stuff back out, pretend like we just did the regression, okay? So we just did the regression, we answered those questions, and now I need to evaluate this at 6.1, right? And I want to use the curve, which these are the rounded numbers, so I can't type that back in either, because that's what Desmos has. I need the actual curve. So what I can do, and what I tried before, if I do f of 6.1, I don't get anything because there's nothing that's defined as f of x, right? So what I can do instead is then remember, if I put in this x equals 6.1, and I got that in there. That's when I was just getting the 3.7 when I clicked over here, right? Getting 3.7. But here's another option. Yes, I have my data points in there. Really, once I have my data points and I get my equation, I don't need my data points anymore. Look at my data points over here. They're green. If I turn them off, now since they're turned off when I click over here, I actually get the intersection point that I want, which is that 3.78, sorry, I'm trying to scroll, 3.78556, where then I could do 3.7 minus 3.78, whatever it was, 556. No. Okay. I still don't love that because I'm typing in a decimal, and I don't want you to think that that's always okay. But I am using 5 decimal places so that most of the time will get you to the right answer. But remember, when we did that, when we put it in here, to what they had is rounded, we were way off. We got, instead of 3.8 or 3.78556, we got 3.80509. So I just wanted to show you that, just like we had done on the other ones, when you want to evaluate it at x, at x equals something, you can literally just type in the x equals, which is what we were doing, but then there was an issue because that point was there. You can just turn them off, okay? That is instead of having to retype in an equation and do whatever. So there's another option. You could always just, if you don't turn them off, then you just zoom in really far. That works too, okay? Just giving you some options there.